Hi and welcome to the TFF Panel show for Season 2. We're going to be doing a special preview show, and with us today we have Kristaps, boss of Northampton. We have Dan, boss of Bournemouth, and we have Richie, boss of Leeds. How you doing, fellas?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks.
Good. Right, let's start with Kristaps. You confident for this season with your new team?
Not really, but I think we're gonna go for playoffs this year. Have to try to get back at the first time.
Yeah, because you came quite late, didn't you?
Yeah, I joined in for the friendlies at the end of season 1.
Oh, well, you can't get any later. We can't blame you then. Right. Dan, I don't want to go on about this too much, but we have here two bosses of Leeds. You left Leeds, you went to Bournemouth. It didn't quite go as planned, but are you confident about this season?
Yeah, Nick keeps reminding me, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very confident. I think I've got a good side. I'm hoping for the playoffs. I'm looking for third because obviously I think Swansea and Villa have got a good, couple of sides going there. But yeah, got high hopes for this season.
Yeah.
Hopefully join Leeds next season in the Prem.
So no regrets about leaving Leeds then?
No, I've built my own side now with Bournemouth and I'm quite happy with it. So
good answer.
Looking forward to the season.
Very good. And last but certainly not least, manager of the season, we have Richie. You made mugs out of the whole game world.
The celebrity of the game world.
You are. I'm not sure if you're a celebrity. You're infamous. You've been upsetting lots of people as well. You're like me now.
I know. Yeah, I'm confident about next season. Made some half decent signings. Buffon was a massive one for us. Got him today.
That's huge.
Hoping we can finish anywhere in the top 17 will do me.
Yeah, I mean, so basically survival for you, but I think you'll probably be even a little bit higher than that. I mean, Buffon, I think you'll get 2 seasons out of him.
Yeah, 2 SM seasons. I hope he keeps his rating though, because Italy have been a bit suspect, didn't they? So
yeah,
hope he'll stay 95.
Yeah, it won't be easy for you, that's for sure. But if anyone can do it, you can. Right, onwards and upwards. Let's get this show on the road. We're going to start with Division 4. Now, I hope you boys have done your homework and you've done your research. And I'm going to start with you, Kristaps. In your opinion, who's going to get promoted from Division 4?
I think the 2 automatic positions should be pretty easy. Like it should be Sheffield United and Grimsby. 2 teams that are, I don't want to say much better teams, but I don't know. You can see by how they have built their teams that they basically should, like someone said, that they should go maybe without losing. Okay, not maybe without losing, but they should the difference between them and the playoff teams should be quite big.
Okay, I'll be honest. I haven't checked Grimsby at all. They struggled last season, so I'm presuming then they've strengthened in the pre-season.
Yeah, the team. Today I checked the teams. They looked pretty good to me. So okay. I think them, Sheffield, and I would say through the playoffs, I would probably say Southend.
Okay, so you think they're your 3 to go up, and what about the other 3 to make up the numbers in the playoff positions?
I'm really hoping that one of the teams will be Northampton, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Could say, can't remember now. Oxford, maybe.
Yeah.
And
this is very thorough research, Kristaps.
Yeah, I only saved the ones who who are going up. I was not thinking about the ones who are gonna lose.
No, you'd never have guessed. All right, mate. I don't want to pick on you too much. We'll go on to Dan. We'll see if Dan's done his homework. What do you reckon, Dan?
Sheffield United are going to win the league, definitely. It's hands down. They've got the team, haven't they? They're way ahead of every other team in that division. They should have gone off last season, really. But I put Sheffield United to win the league. Then I put Oxford, because I think they've got a good depth in their side. than most of the other teams in the league. I put Southend to get in the playoffs, Northampton to get in the playoffs, Grimsby and Crewe. So they're my top 6, and unfortunately Hartlepool bottom of League 2, Division 4 once again.
Yeah, Hartlepool look like they're doing a 20-year project.
Yeah, it's not looking good.
But they will be strong in about 10 real-life years, but...
Yeah. How many SM seasons is that then, do you reckon?
I don't know, but...
Stop playing it by then?
I just don't see how you can stay... I mean, we don't even know if we'll be alive then. It's a long time to wait, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right, Richie, go on.
Well, straight away, Sheffield United. Looking at their team, it's crazy. That team in Division 4 is just unreal. I reckon that team could actually survive in Division 2. I reckon that team would come in Division 2.
Thing. Yeah.
Another team that I think will be dark horses is Luton. Nuno obviously went down the youth path, but the new guys came in, he sold all of them, and he's brought in older players. The budget's allowed him to do that, and as long as he logs in and he does his team and that, he'll be up there, I reckon. Then you've got the likes of Southend will be up there as well. I think Chris will be up there with Northampton. He's got a decent team in that division.
Well,
I haven't really done my homework for that division. That's the only thing.
He's in a couple of other game worlds and he's doing well in them as well. So let's watch out for this guy. We're watching you, Kristaps.
No pressure.
We've got high hopes for you. No, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. I think you're going to do well. Okay, just one question, Richie. Luton Town, if they go up this season, does Nuno deserve any credit at all for that?
I think he does a bit. I think some of the signings he made for Luton were fantastic. He had that young Dortmund defender.
Yeah.
That was one of them.
Begins with a Z. I can't pronounce it. If
he'd stayed, and now currently the rating reviews, he would have had a nice team for Division 4.
Yeah.
He would have had a nice team.
Yeah. The only thing is, at least, I mean, okay, the guy's broken up the team, but what Nuno's done is he's generated a little bit extra cash.
Exactly.
I think new managers coming in, no offence, Kristaps, but new managers coming in might look at their team and think, what the hell's this? But often they don't realise what we actually started with at the beginning of the season. So there's been one or two people maybe critical coming in or didn't come in because they looked at the squad. I know that Port Vale manager was critical. I know that Coventry had a manager who turned them down because he didn't like the look of them. I know that Doc took over Colchester and had a cheeky little... But people should really realise what we start with at the beginning of Season 1.
Especially in Division 4, the budgets were really small.
Colchester had a 5 million budget and a team of 70s. And that's reality. Right, so that's Division 4 rounded up. I'm not going to say too much myself on it other than I can only see Sheffield United running away with it and smashing a few records. I can't see anybody getting close to them, to be honest. And I agree with you, Richie. I think Sheffield United, if you put them right now in Division 2, would hold their own. So Division 4 should be meat and drink to them. So on to Division 3. And let's start with you, Kristaps.
Yeah, I'm gonna go again. 3 and 3.
All right.
3 to go down, I think.
All right.
Reading, Bradford, and Bristol Rovers.
Why do you choose
Probably
them three, Kristaps?
Sorry?
Why those choices?
I think probably because I think Reading and Bristol, I think Bradford as well, they have a lot of youth players who might get upgrades sooner or later. So only team that has any veteran players is Bristol. Like all those three teams are basically filled with young players. Not the top young players, but they're basically young around 80 something rated players. And three teams to go up would be Wolves, Wimbledon, and Oldham, because I think, in my opinion, those three teams have the most balanced teams in the division. Good youth players and some really good in in Wimbledon's case, some really good older players as well.
Yeah. Well, Wimbledon are basically Brentford last season.
I wasn't here last season, so.
Well, Brentford got promoted from Division 2, so Division 3 should be easy for them.
So that's where they should go then.
Yeah. So, Dan. Thanks, Kristaps. Dan?
Yeah, Division 3, I agree with Kristaps with Reading and Bristol Rovers. I think they're, but the Reading manager didn't log in for how long? And literally a couple of days before he was going to get kicked, decided he wanted to log in again. If he's going to do that again, there's just no chance for Reading, is there? I put Port Vale as well, but they have signed somebody today who's an 87, so they might kick them a little bit, but they're all old, so I don't really see them really being able to do anything. Top Wolves, and then Wimbledon for me. Yeah, they've probably got the best two squads, haven't they, in the league? Then the playoffs, which I think is really tight. There's a lot of teams in the mid-table area that could get, a playoff place. But my choices were Millwall, Blackburn, Bolton, and Oldham. They were my 4 choices. But my dark horse is Colchester. You never know.
We're downsizing, Dan. Don't waste your money on us.
I'm not going to put any pressure on you, mate. But you never know.
Mate, I'll be honest with you, boys. I thought I was getting investment, and I didn't. Yeah. And it's a bit of a kick in the teeth. And with investment, quietly, I would have been confident of getting in the top 6. But with not a penny to my name, I'm having to flog the family jewels, and I don't think I can compete with some of the high-rated teams. It's not being mind games, as some of the lads will say, and it's not being negative, but there's just simply better teams in there.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little bit worried. I might even go down. I don't think I'll go down, but
I doubt you'll go down, mate.
That is on my mind as well, because there's a few sides in there that are just too good. All right, Richie, what do you think?
To go down,
yeah,
I think Reading, basically because the manager he doesn't care. He doesn't log in. Now it's been changed to 14 days. I don't know if that's going to get rid of him or if he's just going to log in every 13 days. I don't know. But if he stays, they'll be down there.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because he's got a really nice group there.
He has a great team there. A lot of prospects, a lot of risers, but he's just not really interested, is he?
No.
And Cardiff as well, for the same reason. I don't really think their manager's interested. They got relegated last season from Division 2. I think they were good enough to stay up, but they went down. So I don't rate the manager very highly. I can't see him doing anything. And then Bradford would be another one. Chris touched on it. Bradford, very young team, but in the Bradford manager's defence, he does log in. He does do his tactics and stuff. That's probably what saved him last season, because last season he was one of the weakest in that division, but he stayed up because he takes care of his team, so he could save himself again.
For that reason, I'm not sure Port Vale go down, because Stuart Gibson, I've seen him in other game worlds and he's quite strong. So
I was just looking at the Port Vale team. It's actually quite decent. They've got
I wouldn't be tipping them to go down. I think Bristol Rovers I'd be concerned about. And obviously, if Reading are inactive, it doesn't matter how good Reading are. Although they're actually, when we say how good Reading are, it's not in ratings. It's more about the potential, isn't it?
Yeah.
So
top of the league. Top of the league would be the likes of Bolton. Bolton will be up there.
Number
Wimbledon.
1, Richie. You think Bolton number 1?
I think they've got a good chance of winning it. Yeah. I would say Wolves, but Wolves were so strong last season. They never done anything. Do you know what I mean? I can't see it being any different this season. I think they'll finish in the top 6. It just depends. If the manager is logging in, he's doing his team, they should get automatic promotion, because their team is really strong.
I hope Wolves don't come 6th, because you'll probably have something to say to them again.
I'm going to behave this time.
No, you're not.
And Wimbledon as well. Wimbledon will be up there, because Sean, he knows what he's doing, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he ran 3 teams last year. Fantastic achievement.
Well, they could have got manager of the season 3 times over, couldn't
he? Should have done. To get promoted with 2 teams and win a cup with another one, that's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Yeah. And so what we have now, actually one team I don't think any of you have mentioned is Millwall. Has anyone mentioned Millwall?
I said Millwall.
Did you? I weren't listening. Sorry.
Yeah. Cheers, mate. Yeah.
No, I agree there, Dan. I think Millwall, because they were going nowhere and then Klopp took over and he sort of turned them around. I think they're going to be right up there.
Yeah, they've got a strong team.
Yeah.
Can I just add something?
Yeah.
Last season, I think Division 3 was probably the worst out of the 4 divisions, out of all of them.
Yeah.
But this season, with the amount of teams that have got, the same kind of rating, I think this could be probably the best division next year.
I agree it'll be the tight. I'm not sure it'll be the best, but I agree it'll be the tightest then. Now, what my thought, because obviously whatever league you're in, you pay more attention to. And my attention's in Division 3. So I've gone through all the teams and I'm worried and for my own whatever. But there's a lot of teams there ain't much in it. And what you've got is last year you had Sheffield Wednesday and Wigan were the best 2 teams by a mile. And then you had a crop of 2 or 3 teams like Oldham, Wolves and Gillingham in the playoffs. There wasn't really much else below that. But you had a lot of managerial changes. You had a lot of crappy teams changing their manager halfway through and they've improved. And they've got stronger. And Millwall's one example, but there's a few in there now. So it's going to be a bit of a bloodbath, to be honest.
Which could be good because it was like that in Division 2 last season. There was a good 4 or 5 teams, weren't there, fighting for their position. It could be like that in Division 3.
Well, I think Division 2, it kind of stopped off at some point, whereas I think Division 3, it's going to be close, probably all the way down to, I don't know, I think 12, 13 teams could be quite close.
Yeah.
But I do see Wimbledon Wolves top 2. Right then, let's move on to, this was my favourite division last year, Division 2. Kristaps, you want to kick us off?
Yeah, sure, why not? Since I don't really know any of the managers yet too much, so don't punish me for naming someone who you think should probably stay up. I just went
Kristaps, it's your opinion. Doesn't matter about anyone else.
Yeah. So basically, 3 teams to go down would be Rotherham, Barnsley, and Huddersfield. That's just my opinion. Or maybe I write it down wrong. Nah, that should be right.
Okay, and to go up in the playoffs?
3 teams to go up: Swansea, Villa, and Forest.
You know you got Bournemouth next to you.
Oh, mate.
Maybe playoffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's painful. That's all right.
Okay, thanks, Kristaps. Dan.
I wish I put Northampton to stay down now, so.
Yeah. Join Hartlepool at the
bottom. My 3 teams to go down: Huddersfield, Bristol City, and Barnsley. I don't agree with the Rotherham. I think Alan is a really good manager, and he done really well last season. He didn't have the best ratings of players, but I think he's good with them youngsters, and he has got a lot of risers, potential as well. So I think he'll probably stay up, hopefully. My playoffs, I put me in the playoffs, Bournemouth in the playoffs, Forest, Preston, and Middlesbrough, if he decides to, actually do it from the start this time. Then the top 2, Swansea and Villa. So.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can't really argue with any of that. Richie? Richie knows this league very well.
Going down, I think Rotherham could be in trouble next season. Although Alan does have some more risers coming up. I noticed he's got a nice one from Italy, Sampdoria midfielder. He's going to be going up soon. And I think he'll go up to 88. So that's quite a big player. Barnsley as well will probably be in trouble. Division 2 is actually looking very tough. I mean, there's no really bad teams in there. Having a bit of trouble trying to find a 3rd team to go down. But going up the top of the league, it's going to be Villa. You've got to think it's going to be Villa and Swansea. Very strong teams. Then you've got Bournemouth, Middlesbrough, Derby as well. Derby lost in the playoffs last season. Brighton's another one. Brighton's got a really good manager. He's got a fantastic record last season. Came in at the halfway point. Don't think he lost too many games.
No, he didn't. And what about the promoted teams going up, though? I mean, do you think Gillingham will be okay?
Yeah, I think they'll just about survive. I don't think they'll do much. I think the squad value in that they're quite a bit behind the other teams, so they're playing catch up. But I think they'll survive. Wigan, Sheffield Wednesday, they'll be pushing for playoffs as well. I won't put them favourites to get in the playoffs, but I mean they'll be up there. Two good managers, both know what they're doing. That's how they got promoted last season, so they'll be up there.
They'll hold their own. Actually, what Dan said about Division 3, again, I think that can apply to Division 2 now, going through it, because I really rate the QPR manager, but I don't think he's going to have enough for the playoffs, but at least his team will be competitive. I think tonight I drew 1-1 with Ipswich. I'm not sure if Ipswich are going to find it difficult this season. Snake's
he's a good manager.
Very good manager. People like Snake and Allen are really good scouts, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Ipswich were quite poor last season. I think they underachieved a bit.
So I think they need to
finished
be careful.
up. It was Dan there. Plus, the division next season is going to be a lot. Well, this season, shall I say? Because last season you had the likes of Cardiff, Reading. They weren't really doing their team. They're paying attention. You had a few like that in division. That's how Rotherham stayed up, I reckon. I think Rotherham should have went down last season.
And Barnsley, they kind of stayed up by default.
Exactly.
So I think the thing with Allen and Snake is they're really good scouts. They're really quick to get the players, but because of how they do their teams, it obviously takes them a lot longer. And I suppose I'm trying to read their minds, but are they just trying to tread water until their rises and their squad value goes up? Are they just trying to hold on? Because at some point Rotherham and Ipswich are probably going to be really strong, but for this season I think it's going to be a tough one.
It's going to take a while, isn't it?
I can't see
strong.
Yeah, I can't see Huddersfield with Pavel going down. I don't see that. Okay, let's go on to the final one, Division 1. Kristaps.
So, probably going to bring some more smiles to you with this one. I have 5 on each side, 5 to go, 5 to fight for relegation and 5 to fight for the top 4.
We're going to have to make a choice.
Okay, let's do it then. 5 teams to be, in my opinion, I could not put too many these marks.
Yeah.
Newcastle, Brentford, Hull, Stoke and Tottenham. At this point of the season only, because he still hasn't reduced his squad to the numbers. So,
but he's going
and as I said, he will go shopping, sure, but he hasn't gone yet. So he might as well finish, I don't know, 10th or higher. But at this point of the season, since he's selling all his best players, he's at the bottom of the list. Not at the very bottom, but like in the bottom 5 for me, at least.
So and choose your 3, Kristaps.
3?
Yeah.
I would say... I don't know, that's why I made 5 actually, but... I would say Hull, Brentford, and Stoke.
Okay, thanks. Let's come back to you later, Kristaps, for the top. Dan, who do you think's going down, Division 1?
Brentford. You can kind of guarantee that, can't you?
It's not going to be easy, not at all.
No, it's not going to be easy. But then again, there's another 5 teams that could get relegated, so it is hard to pick the other 2 slots. But I chose Southampton. I think Paul Thompson is a good manager, but I don't know. They didn't do very well last season. They were just hovering above, weren't they? All season, didn't really do hardly anything. But maybe Burnley. I don't know. It's a toss-up between, I think, for me, for that final space is probably Hull or Burnley. I'm going to choose Burnley because he's a new manager. You know, he did come in, you know, quite late, didn't he, in the season? But I don't know. It's a hard one to call, isn't it?
I can't see Burnley going down. They're managed by B-Mart, and he's one of the strongest managers, in my opinion, in the game. But
Yeah.
it's all opinions, Dan. But
It's all opinion.
I can't see Burnley going down.
We'll see at the end of the season.
I don't think Burnley will be close. I really don't. But we could be wrong. Who knows? Richie?
I think Gareth's a good manager, so in Palace. So you never
straight away, I think Brentford. I mean, they're miles behind the rest of the division. I feel a bit sorry for Doc. He's got an impossible job there. It's going to be really hard keeping them up. They haven't really got much depth. There's not much money to work with, even though they got 50 mil investment. I mean, 50 mil doesn't last long, does it?
No,
when you're
it doesn't.
trying to compete in the highest division.
No.
Then,
but he's bought youngsters, or younger players that will rise, and I think if they go down, they'll actually be nicely set up in Division 2.
that's the smart way to do it. I mean, maybe he's planning ahead, thinking, look, I'm going to go down this season. I need to make sure I'm in the best position to come back up. I mean, it's a smart way to do it, isn't it?
Yeah. Just take it on the chin. Okay, Richie, the other two?
Then I'm going to say Tottenham. Because I just don't know what's going on with Tottenham at the moment. They're losing more players. I mean, at the moment, they've still got the likes of Company, Yaya's still there. But they're selling them. They're going to be gone soon. And I'm looking at what's left. There's not really much there. Rating-wise, I think they're going to struggle. What could save him, though, what could save Hammer, is that he's going to have a lot of money in the bank. I mean, he's going to have over 150 million, I reckon. And I don't know what's going to go on with his transfer ban, but if he can reinvest that, he could, you know, push himself back up there. But there's just too much question marks at that club at the moment, so I'm going to tip them to have a bad season. And the third choice, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with Hull. The reason being because I think either myself, Dom's going to get relegated, one or the other. I'm just going to pick him instead of me.
Yeah,
I can't pick myself to go down.
No. Kristaps, you came late, so you wouldn't know about this, but if Dan or Richie, if I said to you at the halfway stage of Season 1 that we'll be sitting here having a chat for the preview of Season 2 that Tottenham are favourites to go down, what would you have said?
Wouldn't be able to believe it, would you?
No,
you'd have a laugh, wouldn't you?
No, they were, let's just recap it. They were, was it 15 or 18 points clear at the halfway stage?
18 point lead there at one point.
And in half a season, we're now talking that, they need to be worried about staying up for Season 2.
I don't know what he was doing with all the transfers. He had a really good team and then just decided to change it all. You know, it's mental. I don't know why. Maybe he just loves doing transfers. I don't know.
Well,
he's addicted to transfers. Hammer, he loves them.
Yeah.
I don't know. Hammer's great for the game, so I want to say some kind words about Hammer and not kick him when he's down. And
well, he's done really well, didn't he? Start the season. He was fantastic.
And he's good for the game world. He's obviously helped Colchester. He's helped lots of the smaller teams, and now, rightly so, he's saying he's going to have to look after Tottenham, and he has to. But I don't know. Let's see if. I mean, obviously, I support Tottenham, so I don't want to see him get relegated. So let's see if he can get them back going again.
In Hammer's defence, I think he'll do well in Division 2 when he goes down. He'll come straight back up.
Richie, it's like a dagger, that.
You're fishing, aren't you?
All right, now the juicy stuff. All right, this is what our viewers are waiting for. Who's going to win the title and who's going to be in the top 4? All right, and you can do it any way you like, lads. You can tell me your title winner and then the rest, or you can go 4th, 3rd, 2nd, 1st, any way you want. Kristaps?
Okay, since I understand that this is the top league with the top managers and everything, and there were some people who underachieved last season. I'm not gonna call names this time because I never do. So I just have 5 teams who should be, in my opinion, who should be top 5. It's Chelsea, City, Liverpool, United, and Arsenal. But I think that Actually, I think that Chelsea could win it this season. And I know I heard that this manager is not as good as the other ones or something like that. I don't read chat all the time, but
So it's all opinion.
yeah, I think he could win it because his team looks amazing.
Kristaps,
I would love to have that in my Division 4 team.
Kristaps, they all could win it, but who's going to win it? And that's your job.
I said I think he should win it.
Yeah, but who's going to win it?
I think he will.
Right. So Chelsea for you. Chelsea number 1.
Yeah.
And
City number 2.
Yeah.
Liverpool at 3. Arsenal at 4. And United at 5.
You have Kev to miss out again. He's not going to like that.
Yeah, but he's going to progress.
Actually, he will like that because you're writing him off. He will like that. Okay. Thanks, Kristaps. Dan.
What can I do? Feels like I'm just bringing laughs and upsetting people. What can I do? Can't say a single thing right.
Kristaps, you can try as hard as you like. You'll never upset as many people as Richie and me and Lewis.
Right. That I'm saying.
Go on, Dan.
Right. Well, 4th place. Sorry, in Kev. Kev will be out of the top 4 once again. Sorry, mate. 4th. Liverpool.
Ooh.
Yeah. 3rd, I'm going to put Chelsea. 2nd, Man City. 1st, Arsenal.
You think Ben will win it?
Ben's got a good side, and I think he's a bit upset about last year. You know, he's a bit paid off of it, but I reckon, you know, this year he can set a good squad and get a few results together, and I reckon he could win it.
Dan, he sold Cruz, which I thought was a bit odd.
Yeah, I didn't see that. Gonna be honest, I never saw that.
Far be it from me to tell Division 1 managers what to do, because, you know, but Cruz, it's just that he's a 95 and he's quality, and I think to win Division 1 you need a really, really strong midfield. He
did get Lloris in though. I did see that.
Yeah, but he's not playing in midfield, is he?
I know that, but at least he's got a good goalkeeper.
Yeah, he's improved the goalkeeper, but I feel like the key battles in the big crunch games will be won in the middle of the park.
Yeah. Well, he is only really, if you look at it, his midfield, he's only got Matic and Eriksen. Really, he does need to add to the midfield, but he's probably got more signings to come, hasn't he?
Both are quality. And Ben's got a lovely team. I think it's brilliant. He's got quality young players.
If he adds to the midfield,
but for me,
he will be definitely up there.
He'll be in the top 4, but we're talking about being number 1. I think selling Cruz is... No, I think it's a mistake.
I think he might do it though, mate. My opinion, I think he'll do it.
Good man, Dan.
We'll see.
Oh, Richie, what do you think?
I think Liverpool are going to win it.
Why?
I do. Roy Keane, I don't know if that's his real name. He
possibly not.
He goes for the league. He doesn't concentrate on cups. If you look at his squad, he'll only have about 14 players. There'll be world-class players, and he'll just concentrate on the league. He'll go out the cup first round, second round. It won't bother him, and he's always good in the league.
What do you think about that, Richie? What do you think about that strategy?
Personally, I don't really agree with it, if I'm being honest. I don't think it's good. I think a big club, especially a big club, they should be going on all fronts. They should be going for every competition. They should be looking to win all the cups and the league. And they have a budget or a squad where they're capable of doing things like that, where they can have a good team in the league and also have a strong cup team as well. Whereas Roy just goes the other way, I'm just going to bring in 14 world-class players and just have nothing else.
He might say, if he was talking to you now, he might say, but I'm building a team, then the squad, like he said in the newsfeed today. So he's doing it step by step. He might say that to you.
But it's not really going to help him this season. I know that's what he does. He'd done that in another game world as well with City. He won the league, and it took him about 2 or 3 seasons to then have a team where he can go for cups and stuff as well. Personally, I don't really agree with that. I think a top team should be going for cups and that as well, instead of just writing them off. But just my opinion, whatever he's doing obviously works because he's won a ton of trophies.
Yeah, I suppose we can say, I'll say this for Ben, He got to a cup final in TFF 1, which was never played, I don't think, because the game world collapsed. And then he got to is it a semi or I can't remember, a semi or a final in this one.
I think it was a semi.
Yeah.
I think Hull beat him actually. I think it was Hull beating him on penalties.
And so what I mean is the very first TFF, which was under Iv, Ben got to a final. I think Iv, who was manager of Man City. So Ben is someone who tries to compete on all fronts, I think. Okay, Richie, so you think Liverpool are going to win the league? Who's going to make the top 4?
Chelsea are surely going to get in the top 4 with that team. Looking at the Chelsea team, it reminds me a bit of Hammer's team at the start, where it was just unbeatable, where it was just winning every game and he had the 18-point lead. I'm looking at that Chelsea team and I'm thinking, who's going to beat them? Do you know what I mean? 99, 95, 95, 95. It's just every player is world class. But I don't rate the manager. I don't think he knows what he's doing when it comes to cups, rotating his team when it comes to cups in the league. So his players are getting unfit and he's going to slip up a lot of points. So, but I think he will finish in the top 4, maybe 3rd or 4th. Arsenal are going to be up there again. I reckon they'll finish 2nd. Kev as well. Kev's strengthened. He'll be closer to the top 4 this season. Not quite sure if he'll make it, but he'll definitely be closer.
He added Verratti in the middle. Good signing.
That's a big signing for him because, well, we said that's where he was weak last season. De Rossi got a few injuries, so he never really had much to go in there. He sold Carrick, which I think he said it was a big mistake as well.
In hindsight, yeah. So you're going, let's get this right, you're going
Liverpool, then Arsenal in 2nd. I'm gonna go with Chelsea in 3rd, and then I'm gonna go City 4th, and Kev just missing out in 5th. But I mean, it's gonna be close.
Right, couple of things I want to bring up there. First, the Chelsea manager. I don't know if he even watches this, to be honest. He's assembled. Well, look, he inherited Chelsea. They're one of the best teams in the game world. He's added to it. Their strike force is ridiculous. So it's not personal at all to the guy, but he didn't do a great job last year. And I think you're right, Richie. Went out of all cups early on. Wasn't rotating players. Players were knackered for certain league games. And it seems to me it was only like he kicked into gear the last few games of the season. So I think what you said is fair, to be honest.
Yeah, I think he massively underachieved last season. I think with Kev doing so bad at Man United, it kind of took a bit of heat off Jose because Kev was getting all the stick. But Jose, he massively underachieved last season.
Yeah, so I think Kev is going to make the top 4. I think he's a little bit sick and tired of all the stick he's had. He's gone out and identified the areas, and I think there's going to be a steely determination with Kev to be in that top 4. So I'll have Man U in 4th. And then the one to miss out for me is going to be... Crikey, it's difficult, isn't it? It's really difficult.
Mm-hmm. It is.
Oh... I'm gonna really upset Ben, but I'm gonna say Arsenal to miss out on the top 4 but win a cup. I'm looking at the 11, the strongest 11 that those teams can pick, and I think Man City, Liverpool, and Chelsea are going to be the strongest 3. But then if Liverpool get some injuries, then what happens?
They ain't got good squad depth, have they, at all?
Yeah, that's
16 players.
They're running.
So I could be making a huge mistake. Ben could win the title, and I'm sorry, Ben, but I think Ben's going to just miss out in the top 4, but Ben will win a cup. That's hopefully that'll keep him happy. But the title, I don't see Craig winning it. I see Craig coming 3rd. So who does that leave me with? Chelsea and Liverpool?
Yeah.
All right, Liverpool 2nd, Chelsea. I'm going to tip Chelsea to win it, but I'm very uncomfortable tipping Chelsea to win it because I've got no faith in the manager, but I just like his squad.
Yeah.
So anyway, we can look back on this in 4 months and somebody's made a horrendous mistake. We'll see. So
how about dark horses?
I think it's going to be really close between them 5 teams anyway. I mean, you could really pick any one of them is capable of winning it.
Luck is involved as well, isn't it, in this game?
Yeah.
A lot of it's luck.
What do you think the dark horse could be in Division 1?
Yeah, good question.
There are some good sides in there, isn't there?
Well, I'll chuck one team out. I'll say Watford. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I said Watford. Yeah, I think they've got a good side.
Has somebody got Watford's team in front of them?
Watford, yeah, I've got it here.
It's pretty tasty.
A very, very good team. Modric, Robin, Cech, Mertens, Lamar. He's got a very, very good team.
Very good team. He got Lamar at the right time, I think.
Yeah. I think the battle for the top half, I mean, you've got the top 5. I think the battle for the next 5 is going to be really interesting as well. You know, teams trying to push in to get into the top half. I think that's going to be a nice little mini league.
I think Watford will be 6th, 7th, 8th. But I really think Noyes is a good manager.
Yeah.
And he's experienced. He's been around a long time, hasn't he? So he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Another manager I rate, I'm not sure how well they'll do, but I do rate Gareth Crisp at Crystal Palace. Every time I see one of his teams, they're always competitive. He builds youngish teams. So I think Palace will hold their own this season.
He done well at Derby.
Derby last season.
He did well at Derby, and then he's moved on and stabilised Palace. So, yeah. Anyone else we haven't mentioned?
I like the look of the Newcastle's team.
Sorry, Richie?
Newcastle. I like the look of their team. Mark's gonna have a few risers coming up as well.
Yeah. Now Kristaps has him to go down. Dan, you didn't say him to go down, did you?
What's that? Newcastle?
Yeah.
No.
Because the reason I was saying to Kristaps is earlier, even if Newcastle ran into a bit of trouble, the squad is of such a good value that he's got the potential to move things about.
Yeah.
Whereas some teams haven't got any resale, they haven't got any options. So I don't see Mark having any problems, to be honest.
No.
Well, he's got 35 million in the bank as well.
Yeah, and one of the biggest stadiums. So, okay, just one final question, a bit off subject. It was something on my mind, and I wonder what you three think about this. But if you've got really high-rated teams, and then you've got some middle, and then you've got some teams that are low-rated, is it possible that not always the high-rated teams are going to win it? Because even though, this is my question to you three, last year, the managers of the big 6 in Division 1, most of them got criticised quite a lot. And there was a lot of comments and, the big 6 are not managed by the best managers. But at the end of the day, the top 6 was the big 6. So, does tactics come into it? Or is it, if you have one of the best teams, that's the way it is? Is there hope for the smaller teams to change it around? Who wants to answer that?
Anyone?
No, I think tactics definitely plays a part, because we know in the game there's some tactics that just don't work, whereas there's some others where you can get a lot of success from. Ratings for me do definitely play a part in it. Like you say, the top 6 was the top 6 last season. So although you will get some of the smaller clubs beating the bigger clubs, it always happens. It happens in real life as well.
Yeah. It
balances itself out. So I think the big clubs will stay the big clubs for a little while yet.
Yeah.
But, teams are catching them. Like I'm looking at, we've seen Tottenham, the demise of Tottenham. They're not even a top 6 team now. I mean, I tipped them to go down. But that's the level they're at now. Do you know what I mean? They're a bottom half team now, and that's in the season. Craig, for me, at Man City's done some awful business. I don't want to be harsh on him, but I mean, he has. So I reckon in 2 or 3 seasons' time, if that continues, I mean, they're going to drop down. They're not going to be a top 5 team anymore. Then you've got some managers that are going the opposite way. West Ham, Newcastle, Everton have done some good business as well. They're rising.
You see West Ham having a bright future.
Definitely. Nick knows what he's doing in terms of the ratings and bringing in players and that. He's only going to get better every season, put it that way.
Yeah. Dan?
Yeah. What, with West Ham?
With anything in general, really?
Well, what do you guys think of Everton? Yeah, I guess he's going to kill me because he doesn't want any stick. But
well, I'll let Richie and Kristaps. Kristaps, actually, it's unfair on Kristaps because he's not been in the game world that long. So I'll let Richie have a go at that.
I don't rate him as a manager, I've got to be honest. But the reason is, I just don't think he logs in enough. I don't think he looked after his team enough. And when you're talking about underachieving teams, they were up there with the best of them in all the divisions. Everton started with a budget which should see them finish 7th. Not quite as good as a top 6, but I mean not too far off it. And where
This
did
is
they finish again?
this is Dan's real life mate, Richie.
Yeah, he's one of my best mates. Yeah, that's all right.
I just think he massively underachieved.
Yeah.
He's looking at top 10 this season. He said to me he's going to be definitely in it a bit more this season.
That's what it comes down to. You can't say he's a bad. Well, you can if you want, but I don't think he's a bad manager. It's just his real life got in the way, and he wasn't particularly active.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
He's going to be a lot more active this year. He definitely wants top 10.
Is that not a little bit negative? I mean, shouldn't Everton have been going for that in season 1? Season 2, top 10?
Yeah, should be really.
You know?
Yeah.
I thought Everton were crap last season, but they somehow got to a cup final. I've said it before, I don't want to keep going over it, but that was a great chance to sort of paper over the cracks, and he didn't log in and pick his team, did he?
No.
He did pick his team. He changed his team. He just never played his first team.
Oh, right.
He played his first team in a league game. So when it came to the cup, his first team was unfit. So he played his second team.
Okay, but then...
So he did change his team. He did do his team for it.
But then that's forward planning, isn't it? If you've got a cup final, you prioritise.
You've got to, yeah.
I'm not complaining. I'm glad he done that. I'm not complaining.
But no, it's just as well he didn't log in because he would have seen all the bloody abuse he was getting. Right, so I reckon that's that all rounded up. I just asked the previous question about the high rated thing because for myself I'm in a bit of a conundrum. Obviously I want to win. I'm not playing this game to just muck about. I want to win, but I don't see Colchester doing anything this year. And I look at the likes of Wimbledon and I look at the likes of Brentford and Hull last year, and each to their own, but it leaves me a little bit despondent, a little bit disheartened that I have to compete against teams like this that are going out and buying 89s and 90s. And I just wonder, with all the best tactics in the world and all the rest of it, some things are beyond our control. And if a team is just too strong, they're just too strong. And I just wonder, if there's anything we can do about it, or I can do about it, because I'm worried, very worried.
I think you do need some oldies in your squad.
You need a balance.
It's good to have a good balance. A bit of both. Not just do what Brentford did last season, get 20 odd complete and other oldies. Yeah, they got up, but now the team's just screwed over, really, isn't it? You've got to start again.
Yeah.
So what was
There's an additional problem as well. Brentford actually is similar to Colchester. They're very small teams, and if you've got a small stadium and you're only filling half of that stadium, Colchester get about 5,000-6,000 on gates. If you rack up the 89s and 90s and all these oldies with all these huge wages, I think you're asking for trouble.
Well, Brentford last season, at the end of the season, there were, £9-10 million in debt.
Yeah.
So that just lets you know. I mean, that in my opinion, that's a club run poorly. But if they never finished automatic, if they finished in the playoffs and they never went up, they're screwed.
They're screwed. Then I made the exact same point about Wimbledon last year. I mean, I find it. I don't like it. I don't like the way it's done. But there you go. Some managers do that. But had Wimbledon not gone up, the club's dead. And I said that. And it's like they're playing Russian roulette. They're gambling. They're gambling on getting promoted. And if they get promoted, then they get the investment and it all works. But if they don't go up, that club's screwed.
Yeah, definitely. And Wimbledon have done it all again now. They've just repeated it in Division 3.
And the thing that is for me frustrating is they probably will get away with it. They probably will go up.
Yeah, I know.
And then end up leaving. The guy will end up leaving.
Probably.
And then it'll be somebody else to paper up the cracks.
Yeah.
Maybe if he leaves, we can get Rats back. What do you reckon?
He knows how to get out of Division 2, doesn't he?
Richie, I don't think he ever left, mate. Right. We are going to wrap up our preview show there. Thank you very much, gentlemen. And hope everyone who watches enjoys it. And we'll be back hopefully next week if I can get 3 more losers to come on and discuss this game world. Cheers, guys.
All right, guys.